right, big up everybody. Welcome back to TJ Warren TV. Welcome back to another match reaction with me and the man himself, Oregon Goon. Arsenal draw 1-1 at Old Trafford. We just respected them too much today. I was thinking about it. Like, we really respected a team that's in what, 14th, 15th place. Like, I really don't.
13th.
Yeah, 13th. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. You're in the lower half of the table, and we just respected them too much. Like, I just felt like there were no ideas other than just stupid fucking little pings into the box. Odegaard doesn't show up again. We're throwing in corner. We're throwing in crosses, and there's nobody tall enough in the middle of the park to get them. Like, dude, it was just a shambolic performance all around.
Right.
But how are you doing otherwise though, Dal? Before we get into this,
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful sunny day out here. The game was actually
beautiful
at
day.
9:30 in the morning instead of 4:30 or 6:30, which is always nice. So I was able to sleep about 9 in the morning. Yeah, big up warrior. I was able to sleep in a bit, get up, watch the game, have a little omelet at halftime that my beautiful wife made for me. So
beautiful.
Other than that, things are okay. But with regards to today, bro, that first half was atrocious. Second half, much better. But here's the thing, is that for me, Odegaard was better in the first half than the second half, but us as a collective were better in the second half while he was horrible in the second half. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I thought he was decent in the first half. I mean, he was running back, retrieving the ball, moving it up the pitch, right? Declan Rice was playing a little wide to the left a little more, which helped a lot, gave more room. We just don't have any real creativity. It's so pedestrian, right? It's so passenger-like. Odegaard's going to the right? He's going to spin it around, flick his hair, and pass it backwards. And so and Fernandez probably knew that. Big up, Steve-O.
Big up, Steve-O.
Fernandez probably knew that. And so, he was just telling the rest of the squad, be patient. Odegaard will make that mistake. Just be patient. That's what they were. They were patient in the back. I mean, come on. We're talking about a back line of Heaven, Euro, and what, Lindelof?
Lindelof, yeah.
De Ligt at one time. De
Ligt started, but then he got subbed.
For Heaven, right?
Yep.
So
and Heaven was making Martinelli look like an absolute clown. It's almost like they weren't in the same fucking it's almost like he wasn't just in the Arsenal academy. Like, it's absolutely crazy.
Right. Because well, I thought Martinelli, big up AK, was a bit of a bright spot in the second half. To be honest, there was a time he had the ball towards the touchline, and he flicked it around two defenders, got a ball out. At least was trying something. And that shot he had was on the side netting. But it's also his first game back in 4 weeks. So I wasn't expecting him to just, go in there and, do Martinelli tings, which isn't much that we've seen the last couple seasons. But I just think that I don't want him to be the brunt of it, right? The brunt of it goes, again, I've got to say it, to fucking Trossard. I don't know what in the fine fuck he was doing out there today sometimes.
Yeah, he was brutal today.
Sometimes it's bad, but when it's bad, it's really, really bad. Like getting triple teamed and just losing the ball and falling down when there's no foul, passing it, trying to pass the ball laterally and it's behind the player. I mean, it's just, he's good, dude, in the box. But other than that, I think he's very, very mid. And he's 30. It's time to say goodbye. Let's get a left winger in there. Put Martinelli on the bench until he really suits up again and gets his shooting boots on. But Trossard is just done. It's done, bro. I mean, as much as we rate him for impact goals and so forth and kind of filling in the slots, right, where we need someone, but it's ran its course. And today, for me, was it. I don't know. And maybe I am blaming him the most. But I thought everybody else was okay. I mean, it was a
dude. I thought Marina was fucking awful today.
Okay,
I like
for sure.
Like other than when Yeri wasn't good. Like
they look like the Three Stooges out there. You know what
Dude.
Neri, but Neri always gets the pass for me, right? Because he's thrust into something at
Yep.
17 years old when we had no intention to really give this kid that many minutes, but he's at least doing something, you know. At least he's
Right.
putting the defenders on their, you know, on their toes and their 6 and 7s, and at least trying to produce something. And I can kind of see that from all the players, right? I think there is that element of production, but when it's so bad, TJ, it's just like there's nothing to be like excited about. It's pedestrian football,
Absolutely.
you know, and it's not. There's no cutting edge. There's just no cutting edge, you know. My man of the match today is absolutely going to Declan fucking Rice. He was
Yeah, dude.
unbelievable today. That tackle
Again.
again. That
Yeah, that
tackle.
tackle towards the end, making up for Marino. Yeah.
Well, the whole team's making up for Marino. And again, why was Marino even? Dude, he played the whole 90 minutes.
Yep.
He played the whole 94 minutes. You know, I thought Martinelli was going to come for him. I'm like, oh, Arteta saw the light. Let's put Martinelli up front. Nope, let's put him on the wing where he's isolated once again, right? With Odegaard as his freaking midfielder to support. I mean, really? I mean, it's just like if you think enough to put Moreno up front, you've got to have some clue that Martinelli can play up there too. And that Martinelli would be far more productive than Moreno, who eventually he just kind of moved back into midfield anyway and was playing like a deep false nine, losing the ball. It's just, dude, I'm going to stop venting a little bit.
Dude, no. I love
but
it.
I'm just so upset, you know. But it wasn't to be. It's one of those games that I think we knew what was going to happen, right? Big up Tony Neri.
Big up Tony, man.
You know, we knew this was going to be it. It was going to be 2-1, 1-1, 0-0. Definitely wasn't going to be a 7-goal extravaganza or 4-0 or anything. But United could have made it 3-1 pretty easily.
Dude, if it wasn't, here's the thing: is I'm having trouble. My man of the match was gonna go to David Raya, but then I remembered that the way that he lined up to defend that free kick was absolutely ridiculous. He gave Bruno the entire left half of that fucking net, and Bruno is known. Bruno is known for making those free kicks. I saw them line up. I'm like, I would not be surprised if they scored here. David Raya, right over their heads, right in between them. And it was a fantastic free kick from Bruno, and I called it yesterday. I knew he was going to score. Death taxes and Bruno Fernandes, fucking that rat, getting one against Arsenal. But yeah, I think David Raya, man, like he saved us from being 3-1, and Højlund being absolute shit saved it from being even worse than that. Garnacho had chances. He was looking dangerous, but he's shit as well. So we're just really, really lucky that United don't have any quality that could have actually really put us to the sword. We beat ourselves today, if we're being completely honest. And you know, we have nobody to blame but ourselves. And you know, if anybody watches this channel regularly, I'm not going to go into the fact that we aren't playing with an actual striker. I'm just going to go into the fact that we have the quality, but we didn't take it seriously enough today. Like I'm dead serious. I'm gonna get into the players a little bit. I thought Timber was fantastic today. I thought he was very good, being very dynamic. Gabriel and Saliba were also good today. It was just the problem is that you know they you can't depend on them to score goals. I thought they were fine.
Well, I want to make a point about the Gabriel and Saliba thing. I didn't think they were that good today. Look at the opportunities they had. Balls running around, right? Towards the end. I mean, they did their jobs, but they weren't that good today. I mean,
but a lot of the chances were coming in from the flanks though. Like that chance that Calafiori left to who was it? Holy shit. When he was completely not marking his man, it was Xerxes. And he completely missed it. He was on the wrong side of the pitch, and he's running, and he was trying to run back. And I'm just like, what are you doing? I agree that Tierney should have started today. I think that Miles Lewis-Skelly should have started today, and then have Kieran Tierney come in relief. Like if you're not going to play, obviously he's leaving, so you're not going to give him a ton of minutes. But when he's looking that shaky and Calafiori is having that bad of a game, you really have to start looking, okay, who can we put out there to get it over the line? You know, and we just didn't do it. Oh, get out of here, Ahmed. You barely back your own team. You back like 17 NBA teams, so I'm not hearing this from you. But yeah. Yeah, well, and Kaneki's actually right on here. He made Garnacho look like Angel Di Maria. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Like, Kaneki's an absolute fraud, and I live rent-free in his head. You know, anytime I come into the Yardman chat, he loses his mind like some jilted ex-lover came in and started chatting at him. This guy absolutely loses his mind. But big up Kaneki. He's absolutely right here. Calafiore just escorts people into the final third. He backs off, doesn't engage because I don't think he knows how to. I think he's a center back. If he's going to play defense, he's a center back. He does not know how to play fullback. Stop playing in there. Like,
yeah, he's so far up the pitch.
Leave him on the fucking bench. I don't think he's any better than QER. I really don't. He's no better than QER.
He's more athletic than QER. He's fast. Well, I don't know if he's faster than QER. Is one of the fastest players on the squad, I believe. But yeah, I just see this kid running around with his fucking Pearl Jam hair from 1995, and I just I don't get it. Like, again, he's an Italian Bellerin. Let's be honest. He's an Italian Bellerin. No offense to Italians or Bellerin. Well, Bellerin's a dickhead, but you know what I mean? But he's an Italian Bellerin. He cares more about his hair and his looks than he does about his football. You know?
Dude, he's coming on after he gets subbed off. He's coming back to the bench wearing earrings and shit. You're just like, really, dude? Like, you all you give a fuck about is looking good in front of the cameras. Like, if you focused half of the time that you focus on your looks on your football, you might be able to start for this team. But no, you got Miles Lewis Skelly going in there and making you look like a fucking dickhead.
Well, it's also Arteta coaching him, like telling him what to do. And, you know, Calafiore's a yes guy, right? He's a young kid. He's okay, boss. He's going to do whatever he's asked to do. And if that's having run up to the fucking, almost to the 18-yard box, I mean, what are we doing here? He's not an attacker. Yeah, he's got 2 great goals for us. Fantastic. Important goals against City, and I don't remember the other one. But that might have been against City too, wasn't it, actually? But anyway.
It was.
Those are just flukes, man. 10 games left. Yeah, exactly. Also, 25% of the season.
I'm not looking forward to this. I'm not looking forward to this.
12 points behind Liverpool. I mean, my God, bro. I was watching Yeti and Jess today, and I told Yeti, I'm like, I would not be surprised if they catch us for second. I'm not really surprised. They're only, I think, 4 points back now.
Yeah, I mean, we're not getting any viable number 9s back, and they're starting to. I mean, Martinelli got brought back early today. That makes me really nervous. And that shows me that he's going to do the exact same thing to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka is back training with the team again, but you get an ACL injury like that, you get a hamstring injury like that, you need to be careful with it. And I don't see him doing that at all. I see us, obviously we're going to go through against PSV. We're going to play the second team. We'll probably lose, but we'll end up getting through. And then when we end up going up against Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid, he's going to force Bukayo Saka out there, and I'm afraid he's going to get injured again. Like these are the things that I'm focusing on. I'm not focusing on the 10 games left in the league. The league is over. The league is done. Like that's why it's like really, really hard for me to talk about it, because it's like at the end of the day, we don't have a prayer. Like really, it's out that we're going out there for pride. And if this is how we're going to play for pride against one of our biggest rivals, then dude, I might as well just like go out to brunch with the wife in the morning. Like, why am I spending my fucking time on this? Like, it's an absolute joke.
A lot of fans are doing that. Shout out Joanne Smith. She's not even watching anymore. She's like, I can't even be bothered. Jess is, I think, pretty halfway there too as well. It's just it becomes the most mundane thing to watch. There's no change. Again, like he could have put Martinelli up front, but no, he sticks him on the wing to cross the ball so Moreno can get the header. Like we know the story, Arteta. We know why he's playing the wing. Why aren't you putting him central? He can score. He's got a foot that's better than Moreno. He's got an eye for goal. He can actually dribble the ball, most times with his heads up between a couple of defenders. He had problems, of course, getting past fucking Ashley Young at 39 years old. But I mean, Martinelli is a target man. Moreno is a central defensive mid. And again, it's Arteta doing Arteta things. And this is the result. This is the result of 5 years of crap football, mediocrity, players not playing in the right positions, and a manager who's completely out of touch tactically. and this is the result: 13 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Kaneki says, question, TJ, no trolling. What purpose does Sterling even serve? I think he's walking Win around the training ground. He's booking, hopefully he's booking his fucking bus back to Chelsea here pretty soon, because this guy does absolutely nothing. He goes out there and he looks like a little lost puppy wondering why he's not getting any minutes. It's just like, you know what? All you need to do is fucking look at how you play the game. Like, that's the one thing that Mikel Arteta did well today, was keep him off the fucking pitch. Oof. That's like I'm dead serious. He is such a dead baller. I can't stand this guy. And now here's my question for you, Dal, and we can kind of go in and out of the game here, but do you think that now that Martinelli is back, he'll think about playing Trossard centrally again?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I think so. I think so. My only thing is, like, if he's good enough to be, I would rather
see that personally. So
Moreno probably would like that. Right? Moreno would probably like that, right? That's a lot of pressure, bro, to go up there and try to produce goals when you're a fucking CDM, a CM, or whatever role he plays. I don't think he's a CB, Kaneki. I've never seen him play center back, but maybe he has for Sociedad. I don't know. I just know that if we're struggling to score goals against Heaven, Yoro, and fucking De Ligt, who's the other guy I left out? Lindelof. I mean, my God. And that's the thing. I think if Martinelli was up there, you can see in some cases, at least do the math in your head, that the ratio's there, right? That here's an attacking player who's played striker before, has had success at striker before, in the Emery days, of course. And I'm sure he played there in the third Brazilian league where we bought him from. But the thing is that why not try that, dude? That's my whole point. It's like, why are you so constricted? Like, Martinelli has to play on the right, or now he has to play on the left. He has to do this. He has to do that. Right? No. Put him up as a striker. Give us a target man. It's easy for Heaven and those guys because there's no fucking target man.
Yeah.
That's why it was easy. We making, like, let's be honest, C-Tech level defenders look good. I actually rate De Ligt. De Ligt's good. The Mazraoui is very good. So out of those, their whole defensive line, I rate those two only. I would take De Ligt as Arsenal as a backup center back, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, De Ligt. I rate De Ligt. I rate De Ligt. I rate Euro.
I don't really rate Euro.
I don't think Mazraoui has been that fantastic, especially since Amorim came in. And then I mean, I've watched more Man United than I care to admit. But yeah, no, it's torture. But Dalot, who is one of the most inconsistent footballers I've ever seen, we made him look good today as well. Like, we knew. See, here's the thing: is like I'm thinking about it over here, and I'm like, why am I so mad? Like, this is what I kind of expected. We expected a dead game. We expected lack of quality. I mean, we're talking about two of the biggest sides in the Premier League, biggest sides commercially, and that's the product that they put out there. It was a horrible watch. There were moments, there were exciting moments, but the game as a whole was shit. Yeah. Like let's be real. Like there were a lot of passes not getting strung together, especially in that first half. Like I was really and I hear what you're saying about Wanyeri, but man, like I really want this guy to prove that he needs to be in the starting 11 even after Bukayo Saka comes back. You cannot play like that if you want that. He was not good today, and it really bugged me. I mean, again, you're not getting much help when Odegaard doesn't show up either, because this guy, we were even given a lot of space in that first half. Like, let's be real. They were really backing off of us in that first half, and Odegaard had a lot of space to move. The problem is that he can't shoot. Like, I don't know what happened to him, but this guy cannot shoot to save his life. He had one shot that went over the bar that looked sort of dangerous, but other than that, man, there were just P rollers or he missed completely. Yeah. Like, what are we gonna do about it? Yeah, I'm like, even when we're backing off like that, like I said after PSV, I'm like, there's no way they're going to give us that much space in the final third. They gave us plenty of space for us to take chances, and we didn't do it. We didn't take advantage of it. That's my biggest problem with the likes of Martin Odegaard, is when you have Declan Rice, who is a natural CDM, going in there and looking better on the ball offensively than you. There's a big problem. There's a huge problem.
I was just thinking
And
the same thing.
I know, dude, and look, like I'm people are telling me to calm down about Odegaard, but if you depend on one player being out or one or two players being out to elevate your game, or for the pressure to be off and you to be up 3-0 to start actually performing,
Mhm.
you're not captain material to me. You're not even Premier League material to me. You're a fucking loser. So what do we do? Like, what are we gonna
Um,
do with this guy? What are we gonna
uh,
do with this guy?
well, selling him's going to be tricky. I mean, he's a journeyman footballer. He probably, I don't know how much he gets at Arsenal, probably 200 grand a week, I would think, 210,
Yeah.
225, somewhere in there. Um, and he's soft, right? So that combination together says Bundesliga, La Liga to me. He's just too soft, dude, for the Prem. Like,
Yes.
I think, even the Declan Rice isn't the prettiest bringing the ball up. He doesn't have all the little flicks and tricks and hair flicks and snot flicks and so forth. Declan Rice, though, has strength and power bringing the ball up. And you can see it, that defenders back off of him. They only back off of Odie because of the tricks. They don't want to look dumb and break their ankles, right? But Declan Rice will knock a defender down, right, with a stiff arm or getting his shoulder in there as he dribbles the ball. And again, it goes back to even looking at old players like Yaya Toure for Man City and, KDB, Frank Lampard. Those were all midfielders that are strong. Strong, tall, more physical players in Odegaard. And what do those players have in common? They can carry the ball and score goals.
You know what?
Rice can carry the ball and score goals. He just doesn't have the bag of tricks. Right? And he's a very raw, shirt tucked in, blue collar footballer, very, very much to the cut of the same jib as Kieran Tierney. Right? I think those two are familiar, old school English, British style footballers. Right? Shirt tucked in, get stuck in. Let's get the 1-0 and let's get back on the bus and go home, boys. Right? But no one else is really like that on our team. Gabriel is, Saliba is to a point, Raya probably is, Lewis Skelly is. But Odegaard, the one player that we need to be our fucking Bergkamp, Lampard, Stevie G, whatever you want to call it, all those players had physical ability. This player does not have, right? The tricks and flicks, fantastic. He can open any back line. We've said this a million times on the show. But at the end of the day, he's not Premier League proven or good enough. But I slapped myself in the face saying that because 2 years ago, he was, in my book, the best midfielder in the Prem. So I don't know why the drop-off is so fucking hard. Big up Don motherfucking C in the building.
Don C, if you want the link, let me know.
Send men the thing.
Yep.
The thing. So I just, we don't know which Odegaard we're going to get week in and week out. He's too fragile, bro. We need someone with strength and fucking brass balls that can bring the ball up the pitch, get physical with, CDMs and CMs and center backs, but put the ball in the back of the net at 18 yards, right? You have to have a midfielder that can score goals. And Declan Rice looks like the only one that can do it right now. And again, Waneri's playing out of position, right? He's a right center attacking mid, and we've got him pushed out to right wing where he looks like crap today because he gets isolated in the corner, and he has Odegaard as the only one to support him. And so that affects Waneri as well, right? So
yeah, well, Odegaard was getting isolated in the corners as well. I don't know where this guy thinks he's running. Like, I don't know, man. He just looks lost without Bukayo, and that's just absolutely crazy. That's just absolutely crazy. Talking the dog. All right. I'd rather be doing that. No, he's walking. I think he meant walking, but yeah. 2 years ago, you played an attacking and fast football, but now it's sideways slow sideways safety football. Judge. No, 100%. And you know what's so crazy is that arguably our defense was worse when we were doing that. So like in terms of personnel. So why don't we start playing that when you have solid defenders like Timber, Saliba, Gabriel? Obviously our left is looking at MLS. He's great. But yeah, man, I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, and the leadership side of Odegaard, we talk about every now and then. right?
Yeah.
Where is he directing players? No, Rice is. Gabrielle is.
Yep. No,
You know,
you're exactly right.
I think this season we've really seriously got to look at Odegaard and what the real production we're getting. He's a nice kid. You know, he comes again from, you know, I always thought there was two schools of football. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but you got the blue collar working side of football, which is the origins and grassroots of football, right? Then you have like
Yeah.
the elitist kids in football, the ones who went to private
And
school.
he's elite.
Private
He's
teams,
elitist.
right? These are Kevin De Bruyne, right? They grow up in like kind of a higher class in European society and shit, right? We're talking Norway, Belgium a bit, but I don't think Odie's from the streets, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so I think you get a mix of that too. I think we've talked about this before. I know I have with Jez, and I think he was in agreement that you really kind of get a clash sometimes of those blue collar working hardcore footballers compared to the elite class of footballers. And it's the manager's job to make that blend together, right? So every player plays to their strengths, right? Kieran Tierney, strong and direct. Odegaard, not direct, but can move a ball around a pitch gracefully and can outflank players and cut those openings, you know.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to be touched. Right? Kieran Tierney, you want to touch me? Okay, well, I'm going to touch your back. And Odegaard's not that player. But that's the player we need at central mid. Because everybody, if you played before, central attacking mids, bro, if you don't come off somewhat halfway injured, you didn't do your job. You're the brunt of every tackle. You're in there all the time. You're the catalyst of the ball moving. Central attacking midfield is one of the hardest positions in football to play, and it's one of the most physical and dangerous positions to play because you're always in the mix. But this kid is not always in the mix. He avoids it, dude. You could see him avoiding it.
Yeah.
Right? You need to go straight through. He avoids it. Right? He takes that extra touch. Our man Lee Gunner says it every single time he watches him. Extra touch, extra touch, extra touch. Every time. You know, and it's just I just think we need somebody new.
No, I agree. And my whole thing with this is that I don't want to see him. We're not going to sell him. Let's just be real. We're not going to sell him.
No, for sure.
But we need to give him real competition for that position and give other people chances. Give Wanyeri another chance in that position. Like, or even move Wanyeri to the left. Like, we don't know if Thomas Partey is going to be here for that long, or if he's going to be here that long. You know, like we've talked about this 1,000 times before, but we need challenges at these positions. I don't care if you're the captain. If you're not producing, it's very, very obvious, and you can tell it takes away from the rest of the squad. That's why I would love to see a Gabrielle or a Declan Rice wear the armband, because they go out there and they play as much as they talk and as much shit as they put out there. Like that's my biggest issue with him, is that he does not look like anybody that is going to get into the face of the opposition or get into the face of somebody that's not doing well. Yeah, you see him directing people and yelling, but I doubt he's going into the changing room and going, you know what, this isn't fucking good enough.
Right.
He's not doing that.
Gabrielle's going in there and throwing a goddamn rage fit, which he should be. And so is, and I think Rice is probably second that. I think Gabrielle's the most vocal on the team.
I agree.
Come on, guys, this is bullshit, blah, 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 right? But yeah, like you were just saying, is I think kind of backs up my point. I like look at, the history of the Prem, like players like Yaya Toure, et cetera. Even Cesc Fabregas to a point, had more brass balls than this Odegaard kid. And Cesc didn't want to get touched that much either, but he was willing to put in a fight, and he was willing to score penalties with a broken leg, fractured leg. And that's the sort of fight that we need. And Odegaard just doesn't provide that. He's a journeyman footballer, bro. There's a reason why he's not in Madrid. We got him on loan from Sociedad, so they were probably like, "Thank you," right? I mean, this we're not going to sell him, but to me, this if I'm the new sporting director, I'm deeply looking at his performances and saying that what real leadership qualities does this kid bring? Because we have leaders on this team. Big up, Connor.
Big up, Connor, man. How are you doing, bro?
All right.
Give us your thoughts, man.
Big up to you, of course. Big up to everyone in the chat. I just got back I was at the pub, watching the game with some mates, and of course we have to bottle it whenever I'm with my mates. Like, it's just like, no one listens to me, man. I said Stop saying we're going to score 4. I need to talk to Tony whenever I can get a chance to talk to him. He was out here saying 4-1, smashing. Flawless as a cat. Both him on Tuesday's show. He's finished. I kept saying to people who were saying 4 goals, 3 goals, like, bro, we don't score goals like that at Old Trafford. Stop thinking that.
Hey, Connor, the last time we scored 3 goals at Old Trafford was September 1970.
Well, there you go. You know, so it's just. Listen, I expected to win today. I went for a 2-0 win because, you know, matter of the fact, it is Old Trafford, but this United team is so shit.
It's so bad, bro.
At least because I know we've got injury problems, but at least we can get something out of this.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It just shows again that this manager cannot adapt to games again. It's lob ball in FC. I was sat with my friends and I said, here we go. Here's another lob ball. This is what it is. Pass up to Wanyeri, who would normally be Saka. Pass, so keep it going, keep it flowing. They will never go directly through the defense.
Right.
Take it to them. Take it to them. Go straight to them. No, let's play with the wing backs. Constantly keep that. Lobbing the ball to absolutely no one or send it wide. It's the same thing over and over again. And Man United figured it out and they kept stopping us. They were doubling up on Wanyeri. They were doubling up on Trossard. Every time. It gets to a point where it's just like, bro, your system ain't working. Just leave, man. If this is all that you're going to offer this side, you know, you can only tell the players to do so much. You know, they're following your system. They ain't going to go rogue and go do whatever they want. They're following your ideas, your system. If you can't adapt against a 15th Manchester United who have been shit this season, Tottenham have done them in like 3 times this season. Like, and we're meant to be better than Tottenham. We are better than Tottenham anyway. But it's just like, what are we doing? You've got to learn to adapt, man. Stop doing the same tactics. They're not going to work endlessly. We had, do you know what it is? We had that one good season where we were in the title race and no one could know what to do to play against us. Literally no one could figure it out. We're still doing it again today. Like no one knows what we're going to do. You know, I had us figured out the whole time. You know, listen, fair play to Declan Rice. It was a very, very good goal. Very, very good goal. But, you know, it just blows my mind, man. Adapt to the game. Change your tactics. Stop lobbing in balls. Mikel Moreno ain't going to win everything.
Exactly.
But it's just like, we know we're going up against the fucking back line of Lenny Yoro and Victor Lindelof. Like, what are we doing here?
We gave them heaven, Carl.
Yeah, we gave him heaven. And he was fantastic when he came on.
He was good.
Heaven was so good when he came on. Like, this is what I mean. Is this another youngster that Arsenal have let go of that we're going to regret? You know, he looked solid today. He looked better than Yoro, that's for sure. And probably even Lindelof. He looked really good, especially going forward as well. You know, he was another player that, you know, didn't show much fear, kind of like Wanyeri. It blows. I don't know, man. And also, I do have to say, listen, it might be nitpicking here, but, you know, you're meant to be chasing a title. You're meant to be, you know, going for this league. Am I nitpicking of saying what Declan Rice done as a celebration was taking the piss a bit? You're drawing currently to a 15th place Manchester United, trying to chase Liverpool, who won yesterday, going out there and shushing the fans when you've been shit team-wise pretty much the whole game. Like, come on. Get the ball back, stop wasting time, and let's go back into it. Maybe I'm nitpicking now, I don't know. But listen, overall, David Raya, listen, clap and no clap. The set piece, idiot.
Brutal.
Why are you stood there? You know damn well he's not going to go to that corner where you're stood. Are you just trying to make it more difficult for yourself? But I have to say, he massively redeemed himself with those 2 saves. Because that would be a game over and we'd be walking out with no points. Even though this point means fucking nothing. Because Liverpool are, 15 points ahead of us currently?
6
we beat Chelsea at 12, but who cares?
Who cares?
Chelsea at home, you know, if we can't score a goal. You know, just no one listens to me when I say we literally beat the champions 5-1 and proceed to get absolutely bombed by Newcastle for 2-0. Why did we expect to go to Old Trafford and all of a sudden score 4? This is Arsenal. This needs to go. Again, it's singing from the same hymn sheet. This manager needs to go. The tactics are old. They're washed. It's all well and good. Gary Neville had it spot on when he was doing commentary. It's all well beating, you know, the Evertons or getting these points against teams who you should be beating. Crystal Palace, you know, these games you should be getting points of these players. But when it comes down to games where you've got to be winning, at games at Old Trafford, at games at Anfield, you know, going to the Etihad, getting 3 points. this system won't work. And it's never going to work. It's not a long-term system. It can't get you over the line. And when it does get you, but when you're in a situation where you've got to adapt, this manager can't adapt. And you can only take these players so far. He can only take these players so far. It's all well and good people begging for Saka to return for Real Madrid. We're going to be playing the same tactics against Real Madrid. It's going to be the same story. We're going to
get killed
out of the Champions
League. We go against Calafiori.
You know, but that's what I mean. You know, we're doing
Rodrigo against Calafiori.
We're going to be sat here. You never know. But now, listen, I might be being a bit far-fetched here. You never know. We could, with a different manager, we could be going against Real Madrid, and Calafiori might have a good game under different tactics. You never know. But we know exactly what's going to happen against Real Madrid. Under this manager, we're fucked. We're fucked as well. The quicker this guy gets out, the better. Over his dead body, my fucking ass. Over your dead body, you should leave this club. If you've got any respect for your club, the club that you love so much, leave it. Go manage Everton. Go manage them. Leave us alone, man. His tactics are washed. They're shit. People who expect Saka to come back and save us against Real Madrid, you're lying to yourselves. You're giving yourself copium. It's the exact same thing we're going to experience now against Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. It's going to be the exact same thing. We're going to be sat here talking about the exact same thing, the exact same tactics. We can't even beat a 15th place fucking Manchester United. It's bullshit. And the quicker this guy leaves, the quicker we'll see change at our football club. He's a fucking fraud. He is. Can't adapt to football games. Oh, but he beat City 5-1. All well and good. Has that won us the league this season? They just got done by Nottingham Forest yesterday. We couldn't score against them. You know, it's all, sorry to get angry, it's all to accumulate.
No, go.
It just pisses me off. People expect us to go to Manchester United and score loads past them. The amount of people I spoke to that said, oh yeah, easy win. You know, it's just, it blows my mind. People saying this is Man United's funeral. Come on, wake up. How many times have we seen this story? Going to grounds where we should be winning. This manager can't adapt. And we go out there looking like bums. Every single one. I don't even know who I can give credit to today. Timber was all right. Timber was okay. Rice. Good assist. He did all right.
Timber was good. Rice was good.
You know, Gabriel made some good, made a really good tackle against Hoyland. You know, there were some good moments. But overall, going forward, attacking, fuck all, crossing in balls.
I gotta ask you guys a question.
I'm sick of it.
Let me ask you.
No, you're not God. You don't have the answers. You don't have the answers, Connor. You don't have the answers. Let's just stay like you don't have the answers.
What?
Because he got angry when I said that I was in the chat. I was in the chat when Tony was on about talking about Man United. No, Real Madrid. And I was like, we've got a chance, my arse. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for. Do you know what, TJ? Actually, I can message towards myself. I don't mind. I would like to be another guest on your show on Tuesday because I'm going to cook Tony. I'm going to cook
Do it.
I don't care.
I love Tony. I love Tony as a person, but I'm going to cook his opinion.
I don't care.
This is bullshit.
Ask Flawless. I don't give a fuck.
Tell Flawless.
I don't care. Tell Flawless.
Let me ask you guys a question.
My fucking
how long does Gabriel and Saliba put up with our attacking impotence? How long?
One more season.
I think
one more season and then it's done. I'm dead serious.
People saying that Saliba's not going to leave this season. I think Saliba's gone this summer. I genuinely believe it. I don't blame him. Mainu wants to leave Man United. You know, he wants to get out of here as early as possible. People saying the Guardian reporting that he wants to leave. You know, it's all well and good. Do you know what? I really hope this sporting director shakes some shit up. And do you know what? I kind of hope that him and Arteta bash heads. You ain't going to sack this guy in the space of a couple months. We're going to sack the guy that's been there for 5 to 6 years and won us fuck all. But we've been in 3 title races, all well and good.
Yay.
Fuck off. Like this whole thing about the title race bullshit. Thank you for the FA Cup. Do you know what? You didn't even take the FA Cup. Do you know? No. Let us keep that one because I give a shit about the one. Take your community shields. How about that? I don't give a fuck about them. Take your community shields if they're so important to you. You know, don't forget about the community shields. No one gives a shit about those. Get this guy out, and I really do hope that this new sporting director gets us in proper players who know what to fucking do as well in the big moments. That's another thing that I always say. And to answer your question, Dow, Saliba for me is gone in the summer, and Gabriel will be gone the summer after if we don't perk up next season. This manager, I swear to God, if we end up being 15, 12 points behind Liverpool and no trophies this season. And this manager does a speech at the end of the season. I think it's against Wolves, whoever we're playing at the end of the season.
Southampton. Oh yeah. At home Wolves.
If
Sorry.
he does a speech and says, let's go again next season, you are a disgrace to the club. And I don't even care what you've done for the club as a captain. I mean, you've done pretty much fuck all anyway. But you are a disgrace to this club if you believe that what you've been doing for the last 5 to 6 years is acceptable.
Right.
Well done, you got us back into the Champions League. I like to think the majority of decent managers nowadays could actually do that and pull that off. It's not too tricky with a side like Arsenal and what you can do. An idiot couldn't go ahead and rebuild this side and take us back to the Champions League. I'm not taking the piss here, but people telling me that as soon as Arteta leaves, we'll be down to where Tottenham and Man United are. You're taking the absolute damn piss. When Mikel Arteta isn't Arsenal's saviour. If you genuinely believe at the end of the season what you've done this season, being possibly 12 to 15 points behind Liverpool with no trophies is acceptable, you said last season finishing 2 points behind Man City wasn't acceptable. Imagine finishing 10 or 12 behind Liverpool, who weren't even in the talk for winning the league last season. You believe that's acceptable? You are a disgrace to the football club and probably one of the worst managers that's been at this football club for many fucking years. Literally.
That. Well said, Connor. I agree 100%. He's not the one to get us over the line.
This team, how does this team make me so angry every week? I know what's happening. Like, I don't know why I get so emotional over it. Like, it's just the quicker people wake up and realize, it's just, oh man, it's just
what frustrates me the most, and I think why I get so angry about it, is that we have generational quality in the squad and it's just being squandered. I think that's my biggest problem, is that we're letting time run out on guys like Gabriel and Saliba and more or less Declan Rice. I think we could have gotten something done with Thomas Partey in there. We're wasting Bukayo Saka's career. We've ruined Martinelli. Like these are the biggest problems that I have, and why it's so frustrating, because they've shown us that they can do better. They've shown us that they can perform. That 3-0 at home against Nottingham Forest, the free-flowing football that we saw, I always keep going back to that. But the fact that we were playing, 22-23 type football that against them, and then we completely shut it off the rest of the season, is absolutely insane to me. And that's what makes me so angry. Like I'm just, people are coming in and saying, "Oh, TJ, you're just salty." No, I'm not salty. I'm really just disappointed and not surprised at the same time. You know what I mean? Like it's time for this manager to go and bring in somebody with new ideas. I'm with you, Connor. I hope this new sporting director holds him to account, but I have zero faith that that's going to happen, because I think he's in the Kroenke's ear so hard. Pause. Like it's just wild to me.
DJ, do you think the Kroenkes sought out this guy, or was it Tim Lewis?
I don't know, to be honest.
From what I've heard from Jazz and the higher up heads like Lee and DJB, is that Tim Lewis, right, who's their close business associate, right, and does recruitment for Arsenal, was the guy to go and get this guy, because there is no boundaries on Arteta right now, right? It's Arteta straight to ownership. So the sporting director will be, kind of the dam between Arteta and Josh Kroenke, because results aren't what they're supposed to be. In Josh Kroenke's mind, we should have lifted a trophy by now. In Josh Kroenke's mind, he's looking at $750 million spent. Oh, and if anyone wants to see a real financial podcast on Arsenal, go watch Arsenal Aaron's X-Rated show about 3 days ago, when he brought up the spreadsheet of the $378 million that we're missing in transfer fees. Go look at that. $378 million, that's a Man City squad. I mean, really. That's Man City type money we could have had in our coffers to spend for the future. But no, here we are, driveling on again about Odegaard and him passing to the right and sideways. No leadership. Arteta with no real imagination in football, no real imagination in strategy and tactics. And this is what we get.
Right. Well, no, you're going to still have people making excuses for him, and I really hope I'm able to go on a golf's channel this week, because we need to have a serious discussion about, how he was pulling up all these different spreadsheets and odds and fake fucking websites about how we have the best youth and the best value in our team. Like at the end of the day, all you really needed to see was Arteta's face when we were down 1-0. That's all you need to see, is that he just looked completely lost, completely without ideas against a Manchester United team that doesn't even have the players that fit the system that the manager wants to play. And I think that's the most embarrassing part of it, is because you could see, especially in that first half, they were just trying not to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
We could have gotten at them. We could have gotten 2-3 goals in that first half with the space that we were given, and we didn't fucking do it. So
Arteta,
go ahead.
Arteta has walked away from his interview of Sky Sports. He walked off. This is your manager, people. Your manager walks away from interviews. He can't face the music. Fucking fraud. Absolute fraud. He deserves all the criticism that he gets. Deserves all of it.
He didn't say anything in the press conference. He just walked away.
No. So in the obviously they have the press conference after the game, but before that they do the when they sit in that room where it's the little border behind them when they get interviewed. He walked out of that. Can't face the music. Can't face the fucking music, can he? Can't sit there and answer simple questions about why we fucked up today.
Exactly.
At least someone like fucking Ange Postecoglou, at least put your head down and just say some bullshit.
Right.
You're very good at waffling, Arteta. So why can't you do it when you face the music? He's like every single fan who backs him. They hide, they run, all of them. They can't face the music when shit gets real. It's cult, bro. It is literally some cult.
Yep.
Every time we go to shit, it's either they hide or they get out their book of excuses. Every single time. The quicker he's gone, this parasite is gone. Yeah, literally. Open that book.
That was funny.
Blow off the dust. Let this one out today.
And that's how we do transfers too.
I was sat in the pub. I was sat in the pub today. And I didn't even bother debating with these other Arsenal fans next to me. What did I hear? It's Anthony Taylor. If it's not Anthony Taylor, if it's not Anthony Taylor, it's Mike Oliver. Classic one. Let me dust that one off. Oh, the referees are the problem today. The amount of times that he gave us an advantage in getting these games. He gave us that free kick. And I literally said to my mates, look at the difference between Bruno Fernandes and Martin Odegaard. Bruno Fernandes puts in the back of the net. This motherfucker hits the wall. I said to my mates before that free kick
straight into Casemiro's
I
fucking
said
head.
it before he even took that free kick. He's hitting the wall. You buy me my next drink. What did he do? My mates walked straight to the bar and bought me my drink.
What were you drinking? What were you drinking tonight, Connor? What were we drinking tonight, bro? We're drinking some ales, or we drinking?
I was just on the beers tonight, man. Just on the beers.
Yeah. Well, no. Do you guys remember the last time Odegaard scored from a free kick?
No.
Do you remember, Dow?
2022.
Yeah.
Really long ago.
2022 against Burnley. I remember.
Yeah, it's Googleable. You can look that shit up.
No, you can look that shit up. Tell me if I'm wrong. Fucking awful. TJ, I can't explain why. I can't explain why.
He doesn't have all the answers, Derek. He doesn't have all the answers.
No, I don't have the answers. You know what? We might as well just play it. You know what? Why not? Just ridiculous, man. I can't believe
it. You don't have the answers. DJ.
Do you have the answers?
You don't.
Yeah, Tony doesn't have the answers either. And here's the thing. And Tony, I know you watch the channel, and I love you, bro.
I love you.
I love you.
Big up, Tony. But bro, do not run. Do not run this week. Don't. You have to show up. You have to show up and face the music, because if I have to sit on there and waffle with Flawless and make excuses for why you're not there, I'm going to be very upset. Big up. You
can't run from this one.
You can't run from this one, man.
And
just like Stefan.
No, fuck Stefan.
Don't do it.
No. Don't even bother with that, because that's pissed me off on another level. He's hidden again. He's not responding to anyone. Biggest fraud. Stefan probably doesn't even watch this channel.
No, he doesn't.
He was mouthing off earlier to Spurs fans about dropping points. As soon as we drop points, where's Stefan? Fucking hiding. Ghost the guard. Literally nowhere to be seen. Put up missing posters. Stefan missing. Literally disappears. And it's all of the Arsenal fans that back Arteta. All of them.
Big up Richie Rose. Yeah, what does the deserve to win meter say?
When the going gets
Big
tough,
up Richie Rose.
these guys hide. They must have been prime hide and seekers back when they were kids. Do you know what? I wouldn't want to go against them in a hide and seek match. I wouldn't. Unless you put Arteta as the prize, then you might be able to find them a bit quicker. You never know. But listen, real talk, people who hide when it gets to shit, we're always here admitting we're wrong if something goes right and we were against our opinion. We're here. We're always here. All of us. We're always here. As soon as these motherfuckers realize it's going to shit and their manager's losing this shit, boom, see you later. Never seeing them again until we get a win. I guarantee you, if we beat Chelsea, these motherfuckers will be out reading this manager. Like
we're not beating Chelsea. We're not beating Chelsea.
That's another 1-1 draw. We're going to draw our way out this season. And they're going to beat us. They're going to beat us by 16 points.
So it's PSV. It's PSV and then Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
Chelsea next weekend. Yeah, that's a draw. It's a draw, and it's absolutely ridiculous because if you watch the Chelsea match today against Leicester, they look like shit, but they look better than we did.
What's happened to Cole Palmer?
Dude, Cole Palmer he's fallen off. Dude, he is shit.
Yeah,
he is shit. And if it wasn't for Sideshow Bob not being marked, it would have been a draw. I'm dead serious. That game was dead. Leicester was up for it too.
Yeah, all those teams, as everyone knows, all those teams now, mid-table, bottom mid, are pushing for points. Those teams in 7th, 8th are pushing for 5th and 6th. The teams in 10th or 11th, they're pushing for that 7th and 8th spot. So the games from here on out are just going to get tougher and tougher. Right. And again, it's Arteta not knowing that. Like, he should have known today that he should know in the back of his head that the league is gone, but it's fucking Man United, and we have to go in there and put on a performance because it's if not our biggest rival. And I do consider him a rival over Tottenham. Look at the trophy cases speak for themselves. Right.
No, I agree with that.
A crazy neighbor at this point. Right, our true rival in the world of football, sporting, and winning shit is fucking Man United. There's no other squad. I mean, Chelsea you can put in there, of course, Man City now, but Tottenham are an afterthought to me now at this point.
Yeah, no, right? Tottenham. I take Tottenham about as seriously as I take like Everton or Palace, or like that. No, they're just noisy, little annoying little brothers that you just shove into the closet and get in trouble because you.
I'm really curious. Just put them in the locker, freshman.
Just put them in the fucking locker, and then the principal comes and kicks your ass.
I want to see what the sporting director brings. I hope he brings some insight to this manager and saying, some of the decisions you've made, we don't really think of as a club. Here's what we need to change. By the way, we might as well just fire you. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. But I don't think they're going to. I think. TJ, Carl, you may agree in this or not. I think the Kroenke's idea is to bring this guy in to steady the ship a bit on the CEO side of things, right? The money side. Look at the money. Look at the overall big picture of where we're headed because Edu's out, obviously, right? This guy will be more qualified than Edu for the years he spent, I think, at Real Madrid. I think he spent 9 years at Madrid, or is it Atletico Madrid?
It was Atletico.
Atletico, thank you. I thought it was Real, but I've heard Atletico too, so I wasn't sure. So 9 years at Atletico. They compete in every single cup competition. They compete for the league every year. This may be a catalyst to get Diego Simeone in. So if this sporting director stays with Arteta for one more year, I think that's it.
Yeah, and I think
this guy comes in there with power.
Yeah, and my biggest thing is like with him, what gets me excited is maybe he'll be better at identifying talent in the market. Sure. Like that's the biggest hope that I have on here because Edu was obviously shit at that. Like unless it was a Declan Rice looking him in the face or a Trossard that fell into his lap, he was signing shit. Like let's be real. I don't get me wrong. I like Jorginho, but his legs are gone and they've been gone for 2 years. He's had a couple of good games, but I don't think he's been worth the money that we paid for him.
Right.
Who else? Kai Havertz. That speaks for himself. At the end of the day, like I just want him. Connor brought this up earlier, and I want to say it again. I hope that he challenges Arteta, and I hope that there are some real arguments and some real productive conversations about who to bring in, what tactics or profile of players that we want to bring in and employ to get us over the line next season. Because yeah, I think we finished second. I don't think we drop out of second place. But second place 3 years in a row, Dal, we're just the Buffalo Bills, bro. We're just the Buffalo Bills. That's all we are. We're a joke.
Last week.
We're a joke.
Buffalo Bills without Jim Kelly and a good manager in Marv Levy.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't. It's the sporting director's job has to be to not only get the ship, steered straight, but look at the financials. Look at what we're paying in and out for these players. Look at what we're paying as weekly wages for people like Kai Havertz and the production we're getting. It's an easy ratio to do. People do it on YouTube all the time. You can look at you got to look at what Aaron put up the other day. I swear, it was a great chart. He put it up, and I think it was 378 million in losses and transfer fees. Think of all the players we've let go out on freeze, the players we've taken, their market value maybe 40 million, we've accepted 17, that kind of shit, right? And that's why we need a straight up sporting director to get those numbers right and to get the recruiting handled. But I don't know if this guy's going to be spotting talent. I don't know if that's really his job. Or is it just to keep our reins? I don't know, right? We don't know. The guy just got hired, I think, today, actually.
I think we're going to know. Yeah, it was yesterday. I don't think we're going to know until you start seeing who we're identifying and who we're linked with in the transfer window over the summer. And
everybody, though, bro, that's the thing that's so frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but we're really linked to like every fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry. And that's been like that for 20-some, 30 years, right? It's always been like Arsenal linked to everybody, right? So it's going to be this guy's job to sort that out, right? Find the realistic targets. Realistic money, right? Not give Kai Havertz 230 grand a week. Jesus Christ.
Big up 7 King. Big up 7 King. I want to answer this question. He says, "Is YouTube to blame for making fans super reactionary?" I mean, yeah. I guess just because there's a lot of people out here just saying the craziest shit to get views and clicks.
Right.
But you go to the I go to the Arsenal matches in the US every year, ever since I started YouTube anyway. And I go and I ask people their opinion on the manager, and they are all for him. They love him. They think he's going to get us over the line eventually. They think he's the guy that's going to take us into the future. I think that if more people watched analysis from other fans and were actually taking in some of this media, we might actually be holding the standard up a little bit higher. But then again, you have the AFTVs out there that give this guy a pass every single fucking time, and you have that as well. So yeah, I mean, I don't think YouTube is solely to blame, but I think the culture in the media is to blame. Like everybody's super overreactionary just to news. Like it's just how we absorb media now. Like that's the way it is. That was probably way too in depth of an answer, but yeah, man. Like it's everything is super reactionary. Everything is super. How can I make a huge impact? It's all about getting that adrenaline rush and making the biggest impact and the biggest splash. And I think people are super. I think people are super disingenuous, especially on YouTube, because of that. Because they want to get the biggest clicks. Concurrent viewers, likes, clicks, views, comments, all that bullshit.
For cooking someone.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah, no, you want that viral. You want to go live and end up on no context football and all that bullshit. I'm not
here to cook anybody but Arsenal. I like all the Arsenal YouTubers, even United, Chelsea. I think everybody in the community has been great. There's a few people that have been jerks, but overall, everybody's been really great to our life.
Yeah, for sure. And if there's beef, I don't even think I've ever had beef with anybody, like real one. So it's all banner at the end of the day. Big up Eddie. He says it's such a weird game. Each team had their own half to dominate. For me, it's clear that the manager's philosophy is holding you back. Facts. And if this is Eddie, who is a Man United fan, saying this, like it's not hard to see that we are so dead going forward, and we're wasting people's time, and we're wasting players' time playing this dead fucking tactic.
When United fans saying we're dead, what does that really say?
What does that say about us?
Right. What does that say about us? Right. At the same time. So shout out Eddie. It's just there's no more top 4, right? It's the top 6 clubs now, right? But along with that, we've got upcomers like Forest. You could say Crystal Palace to a point, are trying, more than they have before, right? They've gone through ownership. They've gone through new managers. They finally got a decent manager, I think, in now that at least puts in a good mentality for the kids. We're so far off where we used to be. I was talking before, and I forget which show it was. Maybe I was just chatting, but I remember getting up in the morning, even in the middle of the Wenger years, like 2004, 2005, and getting my robe on and my bowl of Frosted Flakes, and like knowing that we're going to put on a good performance, knowing that I have a Thierry Henry, or even that time, if you go later, you have Giroud in there, Robin Van Persie. You knew that we were going to at least do something, right? With Wenger, Van Persie, Carthola, Ramsey, etc., Ozil, all the names you want to put there in the past. But I don't know. Anymore, except for 2 seasons ago, and even at times last season, I was really excited to get up, but this season has been a complete 180 from that. Like, I'm still getting up, obviously, watching games, but my interest has definitely waned a bit, especially since the Wenger days. And he just, again, there's times he couldn't get it over the line, but
sorry to interrupt you quickly. I'm going to jump off, fellas, because I've got to shoot off. But thanks.
Big up, Connor. Of course.
I've got to go before I argue with the chat.
He's on X. He's on Twitter, Connor.
I'm about to
rot your brain.
I'm that close to biting the bullet, but I'm not. I'm going to go and because I need to do some stuff, get some work done.
Connor,
the rest of your evening. Go to everyone in the chat.
Connor, hit the conjure mate. Hit the conjure mate. Something like
that. I don't have a link. I don't have a sneaky link for that. But listen, take care, fellas. Just be happy. On to the next one. Yay! The next one.
Yeah, big up, Connor.
God, imagine if we could see 6 against them. That'd be funny.
Imagine they beat us 1-0.
Listen, that'll be a piece of piss because we're at home, and then we'll play the real teams, and then that'll be fun, won't it? Anyway, have a good night, guys. Great day.
Yeah, big up, Connor. We'll see you later, brother. Okay, no, and I do want to address what Connor I think was getting pissed off about, but let me fix this real quick. Yeah, it's 7 Kings. He says Arteta loves the club. I feel the same towards him as I do towards the Haaland graduate. Obi, Cheeto, and Heaven are like the league gunner of players. I want Arteta to succeed. Number one, this makes 0 sense. Obi, Cheeto, and Heaven were never gonna get the chance, which is why they wanted to leave. I think we all wanted Arteta to succeed. I think saying that me and Dal are sitting here saying we don't want Arteta to succeed is completely false and disingenuous. We want him to succeed. Because if he succeeds, the club succeeds. That badge succeeds. That's what we are here for. Me and Dal have not been sitting on our ass here talking to each other for 2 years because we want to see Arteta fail. Like that's not why we're here. So when you say stuff like this, it insinuates that we want the club to fail and that we're just out here trying to get clicks. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Give me a break. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, 7 King. That's I think everyone here in the chat wants us to succeed. We want to be wrong sometimes. We've even said that on multiple shows. We want to be wrong, right? There's times I predicted Arsenal losing and they've won. Yay! I got my prediction wrong, but we still won. Like, who cares, right? Yeah. It's just, if you think about it, 7 Kings, this is, okay, we're in the Champions League now, so we've basically won 1 cup out of, I think AJ put this up the other day, out of 21 opportunities to win a trophy, we've won once. We've lost over 375 million euros, pounds in transfer fees since he's been here. So that's a whole squad in itself. We've not achieved what this manager has basically promised to achieve. 8th to 2nd place, fantastic. I'll take it all day long. But if there's no trophy at the end of it, what does 2nd place even really mean? And so Seven Kings, like, I'm not saying they're anti-Arteta because you hate it. Well, what is short? We are nothing but short-term success. Did we ever back the Invincibles? No. Did we ever really back the 3 FA Cup wins? I mean, yeah, we won 3 out of 4 years in a row or something like that, if I remember. But we haven't won the league in so long. And yeah, it's not about hating him. It's hating the way he's directing the club.
Yeah.
Like right now, I hate him.
Yeah.
I didn't hate him against PSV because I know he did the right things. But why is it so? And I know United is not PSV, right? Far different. But why Kings do the players react differently to a team like United compared to PSV? You can still play attacking football against United. They were, like TJ said, and Connor, they were backing up. They were backing up, right? So we're on the front foot, and we struggle to make anything of it, except if it's PSV, West Ham, or one of those other shit clubs, right? Sorry, no offense on West Ham, but the thing is that that it's insanity, right? It's expecting the results to be the same, even though they're going to be different or something like that, right? Expecting the same results. And so, you know the definition. And the anger gets at Arteta because, like Connor said, it's the repetitive, same tactics, same style, same players, same positions. Like, why is Martinelli on the bench for 45 minutes? Like, couldn't he just start at the center forward position and change something up? Play the players in there. Must have just beat us down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't tell a Tom. No, so that's where it all comes from. Seven Kings and watching this club for over 25 years and not really seeing progression that much, is disheartening.
Yeah, this is hard because there's a line that needs to be drawn, I think, and a lot of people don't want to draw it. And I'm gonna end the show on this because I got to go hang out with my wife. But I want to get your thoughts on this, Dal. Like, I think where a lot of the Arteta inners and the Arteta outers clash is the patience of how long it is taking you to quote unquote build something. YouTube is people. You said, I'm saying that the fan base, particularly YouTube, is full of people that want short-term success over building the club. We've been building the club for 5 years. We were in the third year, the third phase, or whatever you want to call it. We were 8 points clear. 8 points clear. And we dropped it. We dropped it. Like, there has to be a point where they're saying, everybody's saying, oh, we're built for the future. We're built for the future. Okay, when does the future get here? We're waiting on that. That's what guys like me and Dal are waiting on. We want to see the Invincibles again. We want to see the late 90s, with Anelka and Bergkamp. And we want to see the success that we saw with those guys. Yes. Yeah. Lehman, Seaman, we can go on. Like, we want to see this again. But I think a lot of the fan base are really, really invested, and they have a ton of stock in this manager, and they're looking at the future saying, oh my God, the stocks are going to come in. The stocks are going to come in.
Right.
Eventually you're going to need to cash out because especially, and not to get too financial, especially when that spike is never going to come. And right now it just doesn't look like it's going to come. And we get to spend the next 6 fucking months until next season talking about it. Yep. Because the season is over. The season's done. So, yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Dal, any final thoughts, my guy?
I think that's a great final thought. And shout out to the chat, helping Seven King along with what the definition of success means. Shout out Tony Judge and Scott. My final thought, man, is this. Get the sporting director in. Let him look at the big picture of what's going on and use your contacts to fire this fucking manager. It's time. It's time to go. And they're not going to fire him right away. I'm saying at the end of the season, we're probably not going to fire him with 9 games left to go in the season or 10 games to go, right? So let's be realistic about that. Other clubs have done that. Fine. Arsenal ain't going to do that. We all know they're not going to do that. But this summer, let him, June 1st, drop the guillotine. Drop the guillotine.
Yep.
You know,
I agree.
Get us Goikarez. You know, get me Lautaro Martinez. I mean, let's be real, guys. We need 2 strikers. I mean, I'm not saying both of them. We're not going to spend $400 million. But let's But let's get 2 strikers in, right? We need 2. We need a top striker to start, and we need a backup, right? Kai Havertz ain't it. Right? I'm not going to talk about transfers and stuff. We need a sporting director in, steer the ship, take some power away from Arteta, or the power that he thinks he has, and let's just invest smartly in the club and let's move on. But you're right. This season is an absolute wash. A complete disappointment from last season and the season before. We're half the squad we were. We had no reason to buy Moreno. We had no reason to buy Calafiori when we needed a striker and we needed backup for Saka. Right? So everything we've needed, we have not got.
Yep. No, completely agree.
That's kind of it. And to top it off, we need a midfielder with strength. Odie is not it. Other than that, great second half. Great show today, TJ. Thanks again.
Yes, sir.
Popping off today, and Connor joining us, and everyone in the chat, of course. But yeah, this was to be expected. I again predicted 2-0. Well, it was a 1-1. Deserved 1-1. Shout out Rice, man of the match.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, we're going to send you over to Aaron Talks Arsenal. He is breaking the game down with DJB. Go over there and say TJ Warren TV raid. We will be live I'll be live for American Waffle tomorrow night, and I'll be live with Flawless during our normal show Tuesday, I think is when we're going to run that. And then obviously we will be back for American Idiots on Friday previewing Chelsea. Until next time. See you later.
You don't have the answers, DJ.
Do you have the answer?
You don't have the answers.
Tony, do you have the answer?
You don't have the answers.
You don't have
DJ.
the answer either.
You don't have the answer.